Good morning, lovelies. ZoëTwoDots here with some more Pokemon Go goodness for you, and today is your ZTD news, your weekly wrap up in everything Pokemon Go news. So first things first, a big thank you to all of the Patreon good eggs who tuned in this morning for our Patreon only live stream, or I mean, probably more likely this afternoon and this evening for all of you guys with the time zones, but thank you guys for hanging out for another fun Patreon exclusive monthly live stream. If you guys want to peek the details for that or join into the monthly exclusive member only or Patreon only live streams, check out the link in the description for the different Patreon perks. And our first bit of news is going to be Rayquaza Raid Hour, the last chance to get your shiny Rayquaza or just get a few more Rayquaza raids in altogether if that's what you want, is going to be this Sunday from 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. your local time. So this Sunday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. your local time, wherever you are in the world, it is in your time zone. 6 p.m. start. It is going to be every gym having Rayquaza raids poppin'. That's pretty much going to be our last big hurrah and bye-bye to Rayquaza. So fingers crossed you've been able to snag yourself a decent one or a shiny one so far. But if you haven't, or if you want to get those last few raids in, Sunday is going to be your last chance to do it for a hot second is my guess. I will as well be live streaming this. We've got a couple of cars, I think, getting together, or at least one strong team in one car, and we're gonna go and hit all these Rayquaza raids. So I'll be live streaming from 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time or 6 p.m. Sydney time. I'll put the conversion on the screen here for you guys as well for some of the most common time zones. So if you're awake, come hang out, and fingers crossed we can get a shiny Rayquaza. Up next in the news is that for our research breakthrough for the next 2 months, instead of seeing legendary Pokemon, we're going to be having Flower Crown Eevee with the shiny possibility. Now, the feedback on this one has already been overwhelmingly negative. For me personally, I don't really mind. I know that I'm in a position where I live in a city that I can, raid legendaries pretty frequently. I do not specifically rely on the breakthrough boxes for my legendaries like some people do. If you're playing rural and you can't get, a team of 6 people together to take down a Kyogre, the monthly breakthrough is your only way to get those. However, we have had stuff in the past that hasn't been legendary in breakthrough boxes like Shedinja. That was available for a full month, I'm pretty sure, as the breakthrough reward. Not a mythical, not a legendary, not even that necessarily special of a Pokemon, but we have had stuff in the breakthrough boxes that haven't been legendary in the past. Personally, I don't mind. I still have not, I have got my one very special and very expensive shiny Flower Crown Eevee from a trade. And even having attended all of the Go Fests this year, which if you haven't attended the Go Fest, that's the only place the Flower Crown Eevees have been appearing, besides that event earlier in the year before the spring equinox. All of the Go Fest had the Flower Crown Eevees. I've been to all of them. Didn't find a single shiny one there. I've been, essentially drowning in them. I've had the abundance of Flower Crown Eevee, and even then I'm still kind of like, cool, that's our breakthrough for the next 2 months. I'm not overly hyped, and I'm not disappointed either. I personally don't mind. It's Eevee. It is what it is. However, this is a fantastic opportunity for anyone who didn't attend those events to get a full set of the Flower Crown Eevees for evolutions. It's going to be enough to get yourself one of each evolved form and the shiny potential as well. So I don't know if the rate will be increased or if there'll be better odds. I've still never had a shiny for a breakthrough, so watch it be the time that it's Eevee and not a legendary that I do get that, but I'm not too fussed either way. Shinies are shiny. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think about the Flower Crown Eevee being the research breakthrough? I do my daily tasks anyway. I'll get the breakthroughs anyway. I'm fine with it being Eevee. I'm mostly just stoked that it's not the Reggies, personally. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I was kind of sick of the Latias after having them in raids, all that jazz. Let me know. Comments, share your thoughts, be constructive. Why, if your initial reaction is like, oh my god, why is it Eevee? Why is it that? Is it just because it's not a legendary and you think that is a more enticing reward of a legendary? Or what is the reason? Not just because it's a basic Pokemon, because it's an Eevee. Why is it actually bothersome to you? Put some reason and some context into it. Let me know. And there isn't too much happening in the news this week, but a friendly reminder that the Ultra Bonus is starting next week. Ultra Bonus Hype Week 1 will commence next week. So if you're in Australia, pretty much as soon as you wake up, early morning, 6 a.m. on the Tuesday. For USA, you guys, 1 p.m. PDT on the Monday is when things are going to kick off for the Ultra bonus. We're going to be seeing unknown ULT RNA popping out of 10-kilometer eggs. We're going to have Raikou, Entei, and Suicune in raids. Shiny options available, as I missed 2 of those raid days. I'm pretty stoked to try and maybe just sneak one of those in for myself as well. Shiny would be pretty nice. And also shiny Sentret and Gligar popping up in the wild as well. So keep your eyes out for those guys as well. Also, top tip, if you're still not, level 40 or anything like that, Sentret is a pretty cheap one to mass evolve, being only 12 candy. So I mean, they're probably going to be spawning in increased numbers. At the end of each, day, I've kind of been like mass evolving some stuff because I'm really close to actually hitting 100 million XP. But if you're getting close to level 40, if you pop an egg or a lucky egg for a best friend or to hit ultra friend, you're not sure what to do with the rest of that, the egg's still running, what should I do with it? Evolve a bunch of Sentret. Good little bit of XP in there. And that is pretty much it for the news. We kind of already knew all of the Ultra bonus stuff coming up for this week anyway, and there's no other new announcements except for the Rayquaza raids and the Flower Crown Eevee. Additionally, as I mentioned in my previous videos as well, I'm probably going to be aiming to hit Sydney maybe once per week for each of the weeks of the Ultra bonus. If you're not following me on Twitter, you should do so because that is where I'll be announcing those sort of things. So if you are part of the Sydney squad, you want to do some raids together and things like that, make sure you are following on Twitter because if I'm heading down that day, I'll post about it on the Twitter. And lastly, let's jump into our AR photo of the week. And if you would like to get your AR photos potentially featured on ZTD News, be sure to use the hashtag ZTD News on Instagram to get your photos featured. And you can also use that hashtag on Twitter as well for a sneaky little retweet. There's a few photos I want to go over this week, but I'm going to kind of separate them in like 2 different categories, I guess. So the first picture I wanted to call out was this one from Gorillapod that I think really captures the sentiment of a lot of trainers all around the world right now trying to get their Jirachi quest done with Whismur, the ever elusive Whismur here. I really like this shot. It's really creative and actually inspired. It's kind of inspired something for me to make something a little bit fun. So thank you for your inspiration, Gorillapod, and thank you, I think, for capturing the feel of the community right now with Whismur on the hunt. Thank you, thank you. And then secondly, guys, the second group or cluster I would like to feature is a whole bunch of photos from the AR community, and that in that kind of like I posted this photo that was taken by Ken, by Pokemon Photos JP. Ken, one of the AR photographers in Japan, of me with Lickitung. His concept for this shot was, you're the gym leader and you're gonna, who would you pick for your gym? And I think for myself, I don't really know what type of gym I would have, but I know that my theme would just be cute Pokemon. Baby pink, baby blue Pokemon would be my team, absolutely. So Lickitun's always been one of my favorites as well since childhood. It's such a cool Pokemon, so I picked Lickitung because I thought it would take like a really cool, like a bring it on kind of photo. And this actually inspired a whole bunch of the good eggs in the AR community to challenge me. Challenge gym leader Zoe for the bow badge. So taking on my Lickitung in battle with their own Pokemon as well. So thank you guys for getting amongst this idea. You guys kind of like self-directed this, which is really, really cool. And for all of your challenges versing my Lickitung, all of your cool edits here to get kind of the 2 Pokemon in together. Some really fun scenes, some really funny photos as well. Really fantastic creativity. So please guys, check out all of these accounts for just some really fun, good quality content. And it kind of highlights as well how cool the AR community is as well for just getting behind spur of the moment themes and ideas and really capturing that creativity. So thank you guys. It was really fun to see all the photos. So once again, if you'd like to get the chance to have your photo featured on ZTD News, use the hashtag ZTD News on Instagram. As I mentioned before, let me know your thoughts and feelings about the current goings on in the game in the comments down below. And don't forget to come and join me for the Rayquaza Raid Hour live stream. I know it's probably going to be a weird time zone time of day, probably only going to benefit the European lovelies and the Australians potentially as well. If you want some background commentary to your own Raid Hour as well, be sure to tune in. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful morning, noon, night, whatever time it is for you. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.